Sometimes I just don't fucking know. OBS is kind of pissing me off. But there's like nothing I can do about it. I don't know why it keeps crashing on occasion. It just does it. I don't know. Whatever. Um, yeah. Oh, I wanted to take a look at the requirements for the Silent Hill 2 remake because I plan on getting a new GPU at the end of November and fuck, that game's expensive. I just want to know if my GPU will be able to handle it. Fuck, it's recommended is a 2080 RTX. Are you joking? What if I make it a TI? How comparable is that? Oh, sweet. So my TI will actually be better. Okay, I don't know if it'll be enough to close the gap, but I don't think I'm going to be able to run that game at max settings. Or maybe with DLSS I will. Anyways, not the point. Um, Moving on. Yeah, we're doing Little Nightmares today. I need to still set it up, so give me a moment. Uh, where's Little Nightmares? We are not doing. My original plan was to do Evil Within, but I was also supposed to start that earlier in the day, and that simply did not happen. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but there's nothing I can really do about that. I had some stuff I had to deal with during the day, and I didn't sleep much, and I could do it um right now, but I would genuinely be just like really fucking tired, and I don't have an interest in doing that. So I decided that just streaming this would be the better solution. I wonder if I can take this and nope, nope, that's gonna be that way, and that's gonna stay that way. Okay, I need to change the source to gotcha game capture, not elite dangerous. Little nightmares. There we go. If I turn this on. Now, as far as I'm aware, this should work. I did test it um, when I did my testing stream a couple weeks ago. So, yeah. So the goal of this stream, to anybody who is not aware, um, or who has never like watched Little Nightmares, Heart of the Core runs, or whatever. So if you've ever speed ran, or have you ever watched somebody play Little Nightmares, it's a game that takes around 2 to 3 hours, depending on if you're doing achievements or just the main story or exploring or whatever. And then the DLCs are also another 3 hours. I have all the achievements for the DLCs, so that's not a problem. The only achievement I do not have in this game is the achievement for Hard to the Core. Hard to the Core requires beating this game in under an hour and playing normally, by the way, about under an hour, and not dying. Now that doesn't sound necessarily too bad. It takes somebody about 55 minutes who knows what they're doing to beat the game, from what I'm aware. So you don't have a ton of things like that. We are going to be using some speedrun skips to make it quicker. Um, Not like a ton of them. I don't know a ton of them. But I do like know some small strategies that should save a little bit of time and give me more leeway in the end. Is my stream dropping again? Anyway, that should give me some more leeway to beat this. If my stream keeps dropping, I just might not be able to do this tonight because I don't understand why it's doing it, and it's starting to legitimately anger me. I don't understand. But like I said, there's nothing I can really do, so I don't know. I think it just has to do with my graphics card being very dead because it runs on my GPU, or I'm streaming from my GPU, not my CPU, because my CPU is not good enough for that right now. So yeah, um, if my tracking didn't wasn't an issue, I would probably be fine, but unfortunately it's not. Um, so yeah, this is gonna be like a lot of like retries, a lot of trial and error and stuff. It's been a long time since I've played too, so I haven't done hard to the core runs in probably 8 months. So I'm gonna have to refamiliarize myself with the game a bit, which means I'm not gonna be super efficient the first couple times around, but when as I get used to the controls, I should be better at it. So I don't know why the game's all quiet. Uh, so one saving grace I do have is that I am allowed to restart from checkpoint, which can very much save my ass in a lot of ways. Um, some little fun little facts about uh, this game is that when I'm sprinting, if you see her holding her lighter, but she like stops um, covering it, you know her stamina is running low, and you should probably stop sprinting unless you're like being chased by something. So that's a fun little fact. Uh, we we don't know a ton about Six as like a character. I'm just more or less filling time talking. But like yeah, like she's running out of stamina. Um, we don't know a lot about Six as a character other than in this game her soul's damaged, as and I don't think she has one, or she has a void within her. Um, when she tries to fill it throughout the game. Ideally, it seems like she's come here directly from um, the end of Little Nightmares 2, since most of the evidence seems to suggest that the ending of 2 and the seeing Shadow 6 in this one that she came directly here. I also don't have a speedrun timer. I should actually go set that up. Um, I kind of forgot to. Maybe I will after this run, but so far we're doing good. Most runs in this game, or for the speed run of this, is like you'll know whether or not it's a keeper or not pretty early on. Either you'll die really quickly, or oh, I almost fucked that up because I'm out of stamina. Either you'll die early on, or you'll get a fair ways away. Most runs I do, I either die within the first 5 or 10 minutes, usually in this room. Um, and if I survive here and the next room, I'm usually fine. That is the one room that like really stresses me out the most in this run. Um, so I'm super excited for Little Nightmares 2 next year. I do plan on playing it. I'm not sure if I'll play it with a partner. Little Nightmares is kind of a me thing. Um, so I'm unsure if I really want to experience everything that um what everything that Nowhere has to offer um with somebody else. It's always been a me thing. I've always had my first playthroughs like mostly, even like when I stream it, they're mostly alone. It's usually nobody in chat, so uh, I'm not sure I want somebody directly talking in my ear as I do stuff. Um, I did look for partners for that originally, but I've since changed my mind. And I may change my mind again if I find like a really good co-op partner, but I don't have any friends to like play that with. I might see if Cappy's into it. I don't know if he's played Little Nightmares before. If not, I'll need to make sure he gets the other two games before he gets the opportunity to. Oh, her stamina's out. Fuck. This is the part I forgot about. There we go. So she can only jump so many times before they start getting really lethargic, and it's almost a complete detriment for her jumps. So the main room with the oh shit, I have chat off. I did not mean to have chat off. Uh, there we go. Small being going very fast. Oh yeah. Actually, speak of the devil, Cappy. Remind me, have you played Little Nightmares 1 and 2 before? Oh, I need to actually click on the game. Oh, excellent. So, are you interested in number 3 then when it comes out? Because I don't know if I want a partner to play number 3 with, but if there is, I would possibly I'd most likely like see you for that. But that's a next year thing. But I very much know I do want to stream number 3 in my initial reactions and shit. Yeah, I've been looking forward to it. I've been avoiding looking at anything. Oh yeah, I've seen one of the trailers. Um so have you listened to like the sounds of Little Nightmares? It's really cool. It's like almost a 4 hour investment in time though that you have to do. Um is the thing. So I'm very excited for it though, for the most part. I've only listened to 2 episodes. And that was a while ago. I need to go back and re-listen to them. Um, but I'm very excited to play the first game that's not in set in like this part of nowhere. And if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. Well, you'll find out if you listen to Sounds of Little Nightmares. But Sounds of Little Nightmares is a lot of like doesn't have a lot to do with Little Nightmares 3 and has some to do with this game and I guess by extension what's it called? Huh? So I think there's much content outside the game. Most I watch this room. Uh, a general overview. Sounds of Little Nightmares is a game about. Oh, and I didn't touch the DLC and stuff. The DLC for Little Nightmares 1 is all right. It's not the like greatest, especially the last one, but I would highly recommend it because it makes for adding some interesting context to Little Nightmares 1. Um, but it's a character that doesn't have a huge influence in the end. Well, sort of. Sounds of Little Nightmares is it brings a lot of context to where we are in Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Um, and it describes what exactly nowhere is or what it is. Um, it also brings to light a character from the non-canon comics, which is known as the Ferryman. Um, but we also learn some definitive things about Six's past. Um, it's a oh, I died. Um, so Sounds a Little Nightmares is a I want to call it like I know it's like it's a podcast. I want to call it it's more like a radio show though. When I say podcasts, I see like people doing like talking about topics and stuff like that and whatever. Sounds a Little Nightmares is more like a radio show that's based off of um a therapist's tape recorded logs about one of his subjects experiencing something very, very similar to a past patient of his, therapist, past patient. So, which it's heavily implied that that is Six in this game. So, he wants to like find out about like all about her dreams, and her dreams are wicked and wild, and bring a lot more context to like the world of Little Nightmares as you like start to figure out. I've only listened to like an episode and a half, but it's really cool. I also died, so I need to start again. But yeah, it's worth a listen to. The only downside is there's 6 episodes and they're like 40 minutes each, so it's a bit of a time investment. It's the kind of thing that you would want to put on when you're like not doing much else and playing like Elite Dangerous or something else that's fairly tedious. So yeah, um, I'm super interested, and I would actually like to see the ferryman in game in the third one. He's somebody that like Six meets in the comics, um, but was non-canon. But I believe he's mentioned in those, and that's really cool. But I don't know much more else aside from that. Maybe I'll save that for space engineers and time evaporates when I'm building stuff. Oh yeah. What I do know is that you learn basically get all the like background or like information about like what the world of Little Nightmares is, why people or why kids are in this weird fucked up place and stuff like that. Um, a lot of like unanswered questions that we just did not have throughout both the games. Like we had Six and Mono's individual stories. And I guess the Raincoat Girl from Very Little Nightmares, which I've not played yet. But we did not get a wider view of what this world is. And those radio podcasts shed, like, I think answer most of those questions as far as I'm aware. Though I do not know all that information, but that's still really cool. Things we've been asking ever since the first game came out, essentially. If there's one thing I would really like to see added into, if they ever like remade Little Nightmares 1, I would really love to see them put the bellhop in, because I'm really sad he was taken out. I wonder why though, if he just felt oddly redundant. I think one of the biggest little things was from two's full ending. You mean where she like, where you see like Shadow Six in her, like the full ending? The thing you get for like getting all the TV kids. Oh God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It wasn't until I watched that cutscene that somebody pointed out that you actually see Shadow Six like in this game whenever she eats something. I had never noticed. I really hope they make some of the dreams of the person in the podcast here makes like little games or references to that. Oh, they're coming out with I think they're coming out with an official Little Nightmares comic that is canon, and I'm really excited for that. The original one was deemed non-canon, but it's still really cool. Um, from the bits of it I've seen, and so I really want to read that one day. But I'm if there's physical copies of the um of the new one, I will very much pre-order those if I can. Oh fuck. Fuck. Come on. I must be just too out of stamina. You have to like conserve your stamina here. What? Am I just slipping? Oh, I think I was jumping too close to the door. The prequel reveal is really neat. Plus, makes me wonder how much society was functioning enough for the mod to begin. Uh, well, I can't say anything because spoilers. I'm not. I don't know. If you've ever seen the behind the scenes for Little Nightmares 2, like the concept art and stuff like that, like the barber, for example, and other stuff like that, um, that might, I guess, give you some idea. But Little Nightmares 2 was meant to have a lot more, and that's like a decently long game too. That game's like 6 hours by itself, I think. Whereas this one's like 3 if you're really slow. I think if I die again, I'm gonna go and put on a timer so I can at least see. I guess the thing about sort of like um pre screwed up society is that no matter what, it's still. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh, I made a mistake. Damn it. I know there's a way to go through that without getting attacked though. Sounds right for the playtimes, including lots of pausing and whatnot. I had 3 hours from 1, 6 for almost 2. Yeah. 4 nowadays takes even like knowing how to do most of the solutions and stuff. 4 still takes me like 4, or 2 still takes me like 4 hours. I think when I played it on stream, it took me about 4 hours, which was like one whole stream. I was pretty exhausted by the end of it. Oh right, I said I was gonna do a timer. Hold on, I need to go to the speed run page. Uh, guides, resources, DLC auto splitter. Um, let's see. Where's live split? I know it's set up for, I think, yeah, it's just set up for that. I want to uh edit the splits. Change my attempts. Settings for the load remover. Um, I'm not really gonna have splits on. I just want it to mostly be a timer to give me an idea of how long is left. So that's all that really matters. Okay. Oh, fuck. It splits. Okay, I need to go to um speed running, and there we go. Boop. Little Nightmares crashed. I need to shut it down. Hold on. This is what I'm afraid of. This game, it plays a little fast and loose, so uh it should work. I mean, I was able to speedrun Poppy's playtime, so I can you shut the fuck up? So there should be like no issue like speedrunning Little Nightmares. I don't think I can tab out much. Oh, did you hear my cat? I'm sorry. Here's a thought. What would you say if I did a stream with like goals for Elite Dangerous and I had like the menu, but like the goal for the stream was to fund a fan? Because I'm not sure I could afford a fan at the end of or at the end of this or not this month or next month. Because my fan's dying. I just need to find like an affordable fan to put on Throne. But that's an idea I was throwing around. Because I know I have one on here, but it's kind of pricey. How expensive is it? Oh, it's not even for like sale anymore. They don't even sell the 5-speed anymore. Play a game set in a desert or something, make it thematic. Oh god. um Yeah, I'll have to take a fan look at fans later, see if I can find something cheaper on there. But the thing is, I have a fan, right? But it's so Uh, no. I have a fan, but it's so like old. It's like 5, 6 years old. 5 or 6 years old, and it absolutely needs to be replaced. Oh, okay. In theory, so I just like start it. Prison. I don't think the timer, like, the timer doesn't actually start until you wake up or start waking up. Yeah, I plan on streaming this for like a fair while. Um, it's one of the achievements that's like always gotten away from me because it's a big time investment to do. You have to get through it. I can see you. Um, it's a big time investment. Oh, sorry if the numbers aren't super visible. This game's really dark, so I never really thought of that. But fuck, it's set up to be just like a green screen right now. Okay, I'm back Video Pros, and I had a huge delay. No, sorry, but yeah, I need a new fan, so that's probably what I'm gonna have as like a feature thing and hope for the best. I need a fan for like sleeping. Um, I have always had a fan for the past 10 something years. I've always had a fan going constantly, whether I like it or not. It's just something I'm in habit of, so it makes me really uncomfortable to not have one going when I'm trying to sleep. This one is so like broken. Um, I don't ever have it on max because you can like hear it through my microphone sometimes, so I generally don't. Ow. This room also like it stresses me out, but it also just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I mean, a room full of leeches that will eat you, not great. I'll probably play through both Little Nightmares games before the third one comes out. Like, oh, whoops, like day before, just so I like have a big refresher. But the first two games shouldn't have much influence on the third because it involves two like brand new protagonists. So, oh, oh god, that should not have worked. Yeah, I've seen I've seen some trailers for it, and it looks really good. Um, it will be a very different experience from the first two games, 100%. Like disregarding the fact that it has story co-op, which admittedly is what a lot of people wanted from number two. I used to wonder if two is a prototype for co-op. It's being done by a different studio, but I imagine it was used to gauge interest at least for it for sure. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on. Why? What am I doing wrong? No, you should have enough stamina. What the fuck is wrong with you? The thing is taking a game that was single player before and making it co-op, especially with something like Little Nightmares, is a very easy thing to fuck up. So I'm assuming it's a pretty big like risk. I wonder if that's why Bandai or whatever the original studio was that made Little Nightmares didn't have it for the next one. And why instead they're making a completely different game, not set in the Little Nightmares universe, but is obviously in the style. Oh! That was not meant to happen. I need to try to rest 6 while I can. Okay, here I need to not like I need to not alert this guy. Supposedly when he's like going through the door is when you can sprint for the other vent. And like that's what speedrunners do. But the issue I see with a lot of the co-op software, the puzzles have to be designed to be solvable with AI, which heavily holds back what they can do. Yeah. I mean, the thing about that though is like for Little Nightmares 2, it's like co-op puzzles were not terrible. Like they weren't super complicated, but they didn't really need to be. Um Also complicated puzzles are like very rarely do is that ever really a thing anymore, which is I'd say it's kind of a shame, but it's also very rarely something that I guess people really want to do nowadays. I'm starting to get really pissed off at at just things crashing. Oh, look, there's Shadow 6. I don't think I've ever caught her in game before, so that's pretty great. My stream keeps dropping, and it's already happened, I think, 3 times in the past, like, 40 minutes. I don't know what's going on. I'm starting to get kind of annoyed at it, so... I guess we'll just see how things go. YouTube is fine. But like Twitch keeps making new VODs, and that kind of irritates me. So if I remember, oh, so if I remember correctly, the speedrun tactic for this room involves, like problem-solving puzzles rather than knowledge checks or deciphering things. Though it depends on how it's done. Yeah, that's fair. Um, this room it can be like done in reverse, and it's a really weird thing because it involves climbing in like that back area. But that's how like speedrunners do it. I remember when that skip came out because that was around when I started getting like really into Little Nightmare speedrunning. Way back in the day. That was like 5-6 years ago. Probably longer now. Oh, I need to do that. Okay, this room has two speedrun strats on how to do it. Oh, I only know how to do the old one, and you can die doing it pretty easily if you're not careful. Um, oh, come on. This should be fun. So, if I remember correctly, this one involves. I actually have to push this, is the thing, I believe. Okay, and then I jump. Okay, we start from checkpoint. Oh, damn it, I didn't make it. So there's a trigger there at the bottom where um oh, it might not have worked because I pushed the thing. It's been a while since I've tried to done it. I used to get it every time, but it's like I said, it's been a while. There's a trigger there that's for a checkpoint. It's like a big box in the room. Oh, but I believe it changes if you push the thing off. The downside to that particular strategy is that if you angle 6 wrong, oh, damn it. She will collide with one of the I I think I fucked this up. She'll collide with one of the bars coming down, like one of the support beams, and she'll just die. Um, but it involves abusing a checkpoint. Because as far as I'm aware, that checkpoint is just a big box around the room instead of a small barrier that you just like cross. It's simply being in that room past a certain point is enough for the checkpoint. But I believe pushing this caused the checkpoint to turn off, which is why I didn't make it. Okay, that should be enough. There we go. Okay, so that was what happened. As long as I don't die, you don't hear the sound of death, so to speak. It'll still count. Oh, I didn't know that they come from the drain. Oh fuck! I never realized that one of them came from the drain. But yeah, that's how the skip's supposed to work. I've died like several times on the bar going down, not being careful. I think it's because I was just maneuvering 6 around, being silly, and I didn't realize I could just die that way. Okay, here's the here's the part that really screws me. This eye is very much designed to screw with you. Oh god, it's killed me before. It's ruined runs. Also, my depth perception in this game is ass. So like I will absolutely screw up my jumps and have my thumbsticks angled wrong. All right, chapter 1 done. That was the prison. That took me 13 minutes, which doesn't bode well. Yeah, it's really obvious when you watch me that I fuck that up a lot. It's I have a pretty big fear about that kind of thing with games like this. When I'm used to it, it's not too bad. It just kind of has to do with I'm like constantly adjusting how I'm running. I think misjudging depth is one of the few things that got me killed. Yeah. I'm just like, hey, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Run's going all right. I kind of fucked it up a little bit earlier, but we seem to be doing decent. If I don't get the achievement, oh right, shit. If I don't get the achievement tonight, I plan on looking up a bunch of speedrun skips and trying to incorporate those. Not so like I'm a lot faster. I mean, that will be a benefit, but mostly just that I've gotten the furthest I've gotten like at all in this achievement. I got to the outside of the maw, and then I jumped off. But because my depth perception when it comes to this game is ass, and that is the absolute worst spot for it, I unfortunately I died. The thing is that in that spot I actually could have survived. I didn't realize it till afterwards though that when you jump off, there's not a death barrier for quite a while. So when I missed, I actually could have reset to checkpoint and had another attempt. With still 15 minutes left on the clock, and I didn't. And yeah, that's the best I've ever gotten. I was so upset. After I did like continue that run, I think to the end, and I beat it just at like 51 minutes, which wasn't too bad. Normally I mean this is a horror game, but this is not what I plan to do. Oh right. This is the furthest I've gotten today. Um I usually die to like leeches or bad depth perception jumps early on. So this is currently where I'm at. Am I getting caught on the box edge? Is this what is going on? That's weird. I've never experienced that before, but okay. Gravity is normally the biggest killer. Yeah. I struggle with the depth perception shit like quite a bit. I also don't know hunger skip, so I use a controller, so hunger skip is a pretty difficult thing for me. You can't really do it on controller. It requires mouse and keyboard, just at least in my practice. I've gotten it once before, and I cannot tell you how I did that. Da, 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 do, 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 do. And yes, I am. I like the kitsune mask. I think they added two masks like really late. Huh? Time isn't really an issue. Not dying is. That's kind of fair. I get really the biggest I guess stress for time for me is really when it comes to the chefs. Because I feel really pressured to get through there as fast as possible. I do use a skip for the chefs, and that is the hook line skip near the end of that section, which is still one of my favorite things to do in this game. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it has killed me before though. It has killed runs of this before. It's happened at least once, but possibly twice. It's killed me. That room has killed me twice. The first time I tried grabbing it, and what happened was I ended up like it worked, but I also for some reason it forced her to let go. Oh, I need to climb up. I forgot. Um, it forced her to let go, and I ended up dying. The second time I got it, uh, or the second time I tried to do it and it killed me, I like straight up missed it, I think, or I grabbed it and quickly lost it, and it sent me flying across the room, and I died to just fall damage. Nope, nope, you don't see me, you don't hear me. I'm a god. Oh! Oh, this might be the end of this run. Mm. As long as he goes back, I should be fine. Hmm. I'm losing a lot of time. Oh! Oh, you cunt. Damn it. That's at 24 or 41. I'm gonna change something on the the speedrun loader so it's fucking visible what the hell I'm doing. I need to change the timer colors because it's all it's not a great color when I'm using green for uh how that works. As long as it's visible is really all I care about for that. Okay. Yeah, sorry. It was originally set up for when I was doing what was it called? You're watching from Australia. Hey, that's cool. I can't remember. Are you new here or yes, you are. Hey, thanks for following. I do horror games and other I also do space games. I'm really into Elite Dangerous right now, so I stream that pretty often. So just beware. I used to belong to the horror niche, and things have such changed. Next stream, tomorrow's stream, or is supposed to be like Evil Within. I'm about halfway through that game. Um. Anyways, the timer was set up for Poppy's Playtime Chapter 1 because I really enjoy speedrunning that. Though I got a run of 7:47, and then for the next hour, I just kept screwing it up. But yeah, I'm also not super great at this. This is my first day back at like trying this in like 8 months, and I am struggling to say the least. Because that was the farthest I've gotten, and I just died. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. I'm so default to say my guy. I should probably stop. Have you tried not dying? Get bent, Cappy. Cappy is my friend who likes to harass me on stream and give me shit. Oh yeah, Cappy, how'd your mining expedition go yesterday after I logged off? Admittedly, rather bitterly. Oh, I didn't expect dying to pirates to like annoy me the way it did. I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't have so much loot on me, I should have just dropped the void opals and said fuck it. That's what friends are for. Yeah, I know. Do. I forgot about that one there. Oh, it's too high to focus on that, so I swapped over to some other games. I mean, that's fair enough. Okay, let's see if I, like, not fuck up the next area. Oh, I know, this is the leech room. This room is always, like, my biggest killer in Little Nightmares 1. It's the cause of probably, like, 70% of my deaths. Um, because I fuck up where to jump, like, pretty often. Oh! Ah, I don't know if it's because I use a controller or what, but that fucking sucked. That room is the cause of probably another 10% of my deaths. On running any particular part of the game that got you or found especially spooky or creepy. Like this game or in particular? Uh that's a good question. Both games? The mannequin in the hospital and the mannequins are like 100% because they're still living beings that have just been converted, and that's like really fucked up. Uh, I'd have to say the thing that probably makes me the most uncomfortable in Little Nightmares 2 that doesn't involve the Thin Man is probably the teacher and her wicked neck, because that chase scene is probably the scariest in that whole game. It gives me anxiety like every time. Um, but yeah, mannequins are also up there pretty good. That the mannequins are also just the uh hardest part of that game. I find her screeching really annoying. Yeah, but she's terrifying. So if you're not aware, there's actually a first person mod for Little Nightmares 2. I'm actually debating on using that when I play through it again for when Little Nightmares 3 comes out, so it's a bit of a different game. And you can see her like chase you when you look behind you. And I'm like, nope, 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 nope. I've seen a little bit of it, and I'm not prepared for that. But the long neck thing is kind of like, you ever watch Madoka Magica? I've never seen it all, but I've seen a couple. I've seen enough of it to that where this stretchy head thing is a no for me. Oh, overshot. Um, but like lore wise, the mannequins are the creepiest thing of all. In like actual chases, the mannequins kind of piss me off more than they freak me out. Like they do freak me out, but they piss me off because that section of the game is really unforgiving, and the oh yeah, no, I'm super excited for it. It's gonna be a crazy stream. Um, but the thing with the mannequins is you fuck me. Why am I getting a ding? Oh, it's um sorry, what was I saying? Oh, you only have control of your flashlight whenever the mannequins are oh, that was a really shitty fall. You only have control of your flashlight when the mannequins are like actively involved, and no other time, and that's really rough. Because if you're not um aware of it, it's really easy to die in that room. It's only when they're actively chasing you that you can use the oh fuck that you can use the damn thing, and that's gotten me killed before. Where six isn't quick enough to turn around, and or sorry, not six. Mono isn't quick enough to turn around, and then you get killed by them. So that's why that's why they piss me off more than they freak me out. But I do find that pretty freaky. I don't like mannequins. I'm not like Markiplier levels of this makes me insanely uncomfortable, but it does make they do make me uncomfortable for sure. I was dating this girl once, and she was a cosplayer, and she didn't have mannequins in the traditional sense, but she had skeletons, um, like skeleton things instead, because she thought it was funny. I told her that if she moved in, I'm gonna have a problem with her having mannequins anywhere but a cosplay room. And she said it's fine, they're not mannequins, they're skeletons. And I'm like, oh, great, that's even better. But yeah, they don't specifically bother them having them swarm. Yeah. Oh, finally, I got the jump right. Sweet. I think it's a. Oh, what? No, 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 no. Oh, no. That's the best I've done in that room so far. She's pretty exhausted. Yeah, no. She's very exhausted. For the scariest part of this one, I guess it has some. It would probably have something to do with the chefs. Um. I don't know. I'm torn between the chefs and the caretaker here. I call him the caretaker. I know he's called the janitor. I don't care. Because he takes care of the kids and stuff. So probably him when he's like reaching his arms through walls is probably the like creepiest parts of the game for me for sure. Yeah, chefs are inconsistent. Yeah. Um, the chefs are another enemy where like they're kind of they've annoyed me more than they've scared me at this point. Um, Also, they are one of the great like funnest skips in the game, like period. So, oh shit. I also think that the room that has like 20 mannequins in number two is the worst room in the entire game because unless you are like really lucky, that room is such an easy death. And if you're trying to do a no death run, which thank God there's that room is most likely the entire reason there is no hard to the core achievement for that game. Oh, the guests. Yeah, I was also thinking that. That's fair. But they're such a quick part of the game that I don't really see them as an issue for the most part. I have died on their table before, um, but I think I've only done that the once. The guests are probably the people I've had the least amount of deaths to over Little Nightmares for the most part. um, that table is probably like the worst part of it. Yeah, they're called the guests, but I don't know. I do think the tsunami of fucking the tsunami is pretty is almost kind of terrifying though for sure. The thing about this game though is they artificially slow you down, I think. So to make it scarier, which if you remember me talking about in Poppy's playtime, I do not like that kind of mechanic. I feel it's kind of lazy. I'd rather them speed up the guests than artificially slow your character down. And this part kills me. No! Oh god. The chef to hook chase is probably the hardest. But hook skip sort of solves that, yeah. I don't like the unreasonably slow character movement in general. I don't think she's too slow normally. It's really just like during that chase they intentionally slow her down a ton. Which is really just my big problem with it. RE7 comes to mind. Really? Where does that come into play? Keep in mind it's been quite a while since I've played RE7, so I could just be famously wrong. I haven't played RE7 since like a couple weeks before RE8 came out because me and my roommate had our competition. Oh, I got greedy. Oh, damn, I got greedy. 4 hours of Elite Dangerous or something like that for a long time. Oh, I can't believe I died there. Fuck. Oh, my friend lives in a kind of an interesting place. They have a power drink there called Switch, which we don't have at least here in Canada. And it looks like a power button, if I remember correctly. It's weirdly silly. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's such a sick design for a can. Oh, I'm kind of here for that. She's got a different one than normal. Damn, I can't believe I died there. Hold on, do I have RE7 installed? I could check if I can run that. Just to see if I can. Oh, I might have just crashed the game. Whatever. I do. Um, anybody have any interest in seeing if I can run it? Not till I'm not gonna play through it. I just want to see if I can actually run it without the game crashing. So just give me a second. I'd rather answer this question while I'm streaming because it's the only time I can check. I won't like do the sound or anything. I'll just do the game. Okay, if this can stop doing that, I'd be rather thankful. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Um, I will like do like 2 minutes of it. I should be able to hop into VR without crashing too, but I can't. There's also certain parts in VR chat I just can't go to either. It's really a try and see kind of thing. I think I installed this after that test stream that I did. Oh, it's gonna be great for the YouTube VOD. Continue where I last left off. Sure, it's probably like near the end. So I guess spoilers if you've never seen the game before. Oh no, we're at like right at the start. I think because like speed running it. Oh, it looks good. Um, yeah. Sorry if you're here for Little Nightmares. I'm testing something else. I don't have many opportunities to just pull shit like this, so I need to actually give it a shot. Display. Graphics. Wireless window. Ultra quality. Texture filtering. Very high. Motion blur. Nobody cares about motion blur. Field of vision. Shadow quality. Very high. Okay, this is at like the very start, I'm pretty sure, so we should be fine. I just want to see if it'll crash. If not, I will most likely play through this within the next month and a half then. It's not like I know it's an old game, but here I got a question. Is Mia a would or would not? I'm not talking about like normal Mia, I'm talking about zombie Mia. Oh god. I think normal Mia is actually quite lovely. Yeah, we don't would or would not conventional people. We absolutely look at them at their worst. There's something off with the faces and facial animations for me too. Yeah, that's fair. This is the first game where they had the RE engine, and I imagine they were definitely trying new things because when the first remake, when the RE2 remake came out, they definitely came a long way from RE7 for sure. Thing is, when I played this last time, I watched the Madhouse speedrun for it. So when I like fought Jack, for example, I used the strats and it made life a lot easier. The one kind of big problem I have with RE7 is there feels like there's a really weird disconnect between when things actually happen here and then when this occurs. It just feels a little off. But I seem to be doing fantastic here. This game is like not running that hard at all. Either that or it's not being. I don't think it's being reported, so it could be running hard. But I'm also at 60 FPS and my model's like moving perfectly fine. So I plan on stopping this soon. Don't worry. I'm just waiting for some of the more hectic stuff to happen. This is one of the games I do want to platinum. But the special game modes that are like the hardest achievements in the game are the things that really fuck me over. I One thing I really want to do is I really want to have more achievement hunting streams because I don't do that often. But they're just it's probably the most unpopular thing I ever do. E1. I'd also like more like context to like the connections, for example. Because I don't think we get like too much of that in 7 and 8. That's right, especially since a lot of the time it's just like just the 21 thing alone. The very final game achievement for that one requires you to do things in a very specific order, and if you don't know it, you are gonna just like die over and over again. The worst thing about that is that although it's said that that's not canon, there's a lot of evidence to indicate that what goes on between like Clancy and all those games is canon. The only one that's not canon is like Ethan Must Die and Jack's Birthday Party, I think. Yeah, I'd give it a shot. Okay, that's enough of that. I will not be able to run it, huh? But I want a 99% armored core, but S ranking all the missions is a huge note for me. What about a race with a bet? Would you still do it then? I'm swapping over to Little Nightmares now. I tested what I wanted. If the game will work through that, it'll most likely work through most of the game itself. Oh, S rank race. After I play through the game and like I'm very familiar with it, S rank race. Like to get all S rank on all the things. It wouldn't be like we would have like set we would have rules for it though. Um, I would you'd also have to I'd also have to have like a lot of time to get familiar with the game for sure. No, past S rank is straight up not fun for me in that game. I wouldn't imagine it's too hard. Um, not like too much of a struggle, but I don't know the requirements, so it could be completely unfair. I'm trying to view it from the lens of like a Dark Souls game where it's just a lot of practice, but I could be 100% wrong. Anyways, we're back to Little Nightmares. I'm sorry for anybody that was here and just wanted me to exclusively do Little Nightmares. I will do little tests like that for like games I really do want to play. And I'm very happy to that. When I do Resident Evil 7 though, I actually plan on doing the teaser. Because that gives you benefits in the main game, and I've never finished that before. At least like proper. It's just should be fine. Anyways, back to Hard to the Core runs. I I'm very pleased that that worked as well as it did. Like well, like for example, this game crashes and it shouldn't do that, but it does. So I have to individually check games. I can't just make assumptions. Um, I do want to get. I feel a little weird about um using family sharing for games because I'm gonna want to buy them anyways. The only time I might do that is if I know a sale is coming and I want to like play a game and stream it. So I might do it, but I would eventually buy it. Oh, speaking of buying games, so one of the few games I've ever gotten from a spare site, and it was on G2A, was I got a day one key for Near Automata. Um, I was like the game was like $15 off, I think, too, which is pretty great. But it was a day one key, which means I got the day one stuff, and I was super happy about that. With a certain time limit, no or little healing, not spending too much ammo, no. Okay. I'm down for all that, but the not spending too much ammo bit, I think that's where I would really slip up. See, all the other stuff is something I would expect. It's like, oh, it's fine. No healing. Okay, I can get that. Like, I've done that achievement in, I'm pretty sure I've done that achievement in the Resident Evil games. But uh, doing that in that game where I can't like not use too much ammo, like minimal amounts. Ooh, I'm not sure about that one. I'd have to have that. Sounds like having an insanely optimized. Yeah, exactly. I like doing that too. I would probably get used to it to like figure out what where I can be like really reckless but still have fun and still try to do that. But when it comes to like not spending too much ammo, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that particular one. Co-op mode though? Oh yeah, that too. Oh, I'd want that to be a that. I don't know if I'd want that to be a stream actually, to be honest. I'm sorry if it seems like I bring up the idea of doing a lot of stuff on stream because I think it'd be a lot of like fun content experiences. Um, it's just I have streamer brain, or better described as content creator syndrome. Personally, 35-minute speed run. Let's go. What the fuck? That's not happening, Glacius. That is not happening at all. Also, thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. I know it's not Elite Dangerous content, so. The one worried thing I have with like all the people that join the server like through Elite Dangerous, they will have zero interest in horror content. I know a few of them don't like horror content, which is, oh god, kind of a shame, but I'm not doing 35 minutes. I might get 50, somewhere between 45 and 50 if I do really good, but there's no fucking way I'm doing that much. There's a lot of skips I just don't know. I know some skips, but not that many. A co-op mod for Armored Core, hell fucking yeah. Actually, that I wonder if that other guy, I wonder if Ronan would be really cool with doing an S rank speedrun. That might be nice. My rules for the like S rank speedrun would be to um ah, damn it. Fuck. Back to Exobile, lol, I hate having less than a billion. Oh, boo fucking who. Get through the doors, please. Yeah, I do want to find somebody to do that. The thing is, like, there'd have to be a lot of rules for, like, we can only run at certain times and stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. I know that this speedrun involves running to the back there for this area. I don't know the optimal way to do that. That's something that I would want to practice before I try it on stream. This one also has a glitch that shoots you forward. I don't know how to do that. It involves placing a block in a very specific way in a very specific spot. It's one of those like frame and spot perfect glitches that I just do not understand. It's like logically it doesn't make much sense. Controller drift, please don't get me killed. I should test out Exobio tonight after this stream and see how far I can get doing that on a planet before I crash. Because if I can do that on planets, I would be like super, super cool having an exploration stream sometime soon within the bubble. Nothing like outside of it for sure. But yeah, big money. Well, I wanted to have a bunch of fighters and blow a bunch of shit up, but apparently that's not happening. Like, or blow a bunch of aliens up. I mean, my main ship can still have like exo guns, right? Like, they're not super effective fighters, but yeah, I don't know. I want to have. I like having the idea of having fighters and stuff like that doing shit, and then I just pilot my main ship and blow shit up. But I also do know that big ships are not super maneuverable. Just do space engineers, have a drone carrier. Can you have drones in space engineers? Is that a thing? I know that there was a drone mod. Um, oh, right. Speaking of space engineers, one thing I didn't mention last night is there's a mod. I don't know if there's a lot of I don't know if there's a lot of like PvE stuff. I know there's some now. Outside of like pirate ships or whatever, but there used to be these a mod. It was called like AI War or something. And what it did was it added an alien foe that could like send ships to go after you and shit like that. And I never got it to work much, but I wanted to have a reason to have gun platforms installed in my base. So that's what I did. They added at least, and they literally added in game PV. Oh, I'll read that when I'm climbing. They added a decent bit more. Literally, just added in-game PVE stuff and in-game parts. Sweet. I'll have to take a look. But yeah, no. Apparently, it's been like 9 years since I had a heavy investment in that game. Like I said, I came back when a planet updates. I looked up when Direwolf 20 did his playthrough of the game, which is when I was playing it, and that was 9 years ago. I'm stuck on the thing. I was thinking of touching the game, trying to work to remember the controls. Yeah, no, it's the one thing that Elite Dangerous reminds me of is just how annoying it is to maneuver ships in zero G and like having a sense of up and down. Because I had a lot of problems with that in Space Engineers for sure. But I don't want to start a server for that if I can't stream it. So I need to get a GPU first before I can even think of that, and then maybe I'll give it a shot. That's Glacius. I just need to be this within an hour. That's really my only goal without dying, so. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I also think it'd be cool to have a server for that. I've almost gotten it before. Oh, what? That should have worked. Fuck. What did I do wrong? Did I miss the checkpoint box? Hold on. I'll try again. Maybe I should just try not moving while I'm falling. And just hope I don't dome myself on that beam. Hello, Loki. How you doing, boy? Please work. Fuck! I was stuck between wanting to make a regular smallish shifter or no, actually, it was large savage. Are you talking about Elite Dangerous or Space Engineers? Oh, if you're just learning your like relearning shit, I'd probably say go with the smallish exploration and tag areas where like you find ores and stuff like that, and then work on the bigger ship later. Okay, I think it's around there. This works. Damn it! I'm seriously struggling here, and I cannot tell you as to the why. I think I'm just gonna do this the normal way. It's slow, but at this point, I'm not gonna finish the run on time if I keep trying this over and over again. I'll have to like relook up the skip. Because at this point, I'm tired of giving it a shot. I've also whacked myself on that on the way down. Because you fall faster than it does, I'm pretty sure. A nice thing they added years ago was trading posts for buying, so you can now buy ship. That's cool. The only thing I've ever contributed to the Steam workshop is some ship designs I made, which were very basic, but they were like really, really simple miners. I actually think were improvements on Direwolf's designs because his were a little like uncontrollable and they kind of annoyed me. But yeah, I heard about Spade when the update came out that I stopped playing at. Oh, I'm gonna die. The planet update was probably was a huge controversial thing in the community due to the fact that um it was kind of like when No Man's Sky came out, that like you could have a seriously good GPU and CPU at the time and you'd struggle insanely hard. So before they put out patches. With the planet update, it was no different. Even people with very good hardware were like struggling to load planets, and I was hearing about that, and I'm like, uh, I'm not really, I'm not really comfortable with that. So I started I kind of reached like the farthest I could go in my world, before I start making obnoxiously huge ships and shit, and I didn't really have a goal, so I just kind of stopped. Hold on, I'm going to look up that skip for the rope because I would like to know. Um, Little Nightmares rope skip. Little Nightmares 2 with Celine? Is that a mod? Hearts of the Core tips and tricks. Um, no, this is pulley skip. Bed skip. No, that's not the one I want. I mean, I'll save that and look that up later, but I want to find out that fall that I just fucked up 6 times or 4 times. Free fall skip. Here we go. No, I'm trying to not die, you fucker. Restarting from a checkpoint does not count as a death. There we go. It's like OBS has crashed. Brr, 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 brr. No. No, it hasn't. Fuck you. And it'll sit there. The funny thing about the OBS has crashed thing is that unless you like acknowledge it, you'll keep streaming just fine. I don't know what like causes that, but it'll still just like work. Oh. Do 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 do. New game. I'm gonna keep trying that skip. I got it to work earlier. I don't know why it's not working now, but I'm probably gonna keep trying that just because I don't know how to do the other route. I might study it later, but and I know you don't need to do skips to get to the end, but the more time I save earlier on, the more time I have to do the parts I'm really unsure about or really nervous about later, which is mostly stuff in the kitchen and the table with all the guests. Are like my biggest are like my biggest things. So I really want to try to avoid those, but having issues with those and taking my time will make it a fair bit easier. But yeah. I hate that. OBS has crashed. Blah blah blah. I remember even Thor or Pirate Software had that happen on one of his streams. He's like, "I'm not touching that, as it seems everything's fine." I don't know what causes it. I think it's a false positive, like thinking that your GPU crashed, because my GPU is what's running the driver. But as long as you don't acknowledge it, it probably only accounts as like a small blip in the software. But it still thinks that it crashed, so it just reports it that anyways, but it doesn't actually shut it down. And then when you hit yes or no or whatever for reporting, then it sends a shutdown command anyways. So just in case it's like a forced shutdown. Like if you were to do it from I guess task manager is the idea, I believe. So yeah. I honestly I can make the game look like less good and it would be fine. It would run fine. It already does run fine. Like I'm at 60 FPS. So I don't see it like too much of an issue. The only skip I will most likely never practice is sausage skip. I've tried to do that skip before, and I have never gotten it to work once. I think it's funny that the only room that has like a significant enemy danger is that leech room in the first part. Everything else is pretty like fine. Oh, I just fell. That's unfortunate. This probably won't be a super long stream because I know it's not particularly interesting. And doing all these runs can be like relatively mentally exhausting. Just failure after failure after failure, kind of gets to you. Well, my stream hasn't dropped in a little over an hour or about an hour now, so hopefully whatever was causing it to crash before is done with because I really don't want to. I just can't have that keep happening. It's gonna severely piss me off if it does. I do have a separate GPU that I could possibly run OBS from, and it wouldn't impact my main GPU. The issue with that is I don't know if my motherboard will really support having two graphics cards working that are not identical. It does have support for SLI and Crossfire, whatever the fuck the AMD thing was back in the day, but like most motherboards do, I think, or did. It stopped being a thing around 30 series, but um, I don't know how well that works with two in applications where like one is being used as a streaming card and whatever. The person who bought my card gave me that one. And the reason why they didn't want to use that one anymore is because it didn't have AV1 encoding. I don't know where they're doing AV1 encoding. I don't have, but they have like a decently updated rig. They have like 230s or 3080s in their main rig. But I believe the 30 series does not have AV1 encoding, which is the only reason they bought my card, which they got for a hell of a discount. And the only reason they got it for a hell of a discount was because I was seriously struggling. They were kind of a cunt, though, of a person. And I'm calling them that because they're one of those sellers that are hyper aggressive, or they're one of those buyers that are hyper aggressive and heckle you if you don't respond to them and give them what they want. And the only reason I gave them what they wanted was because a couple other buyers didn't work out, and I was getting kind of stressed about the whole thing. And I was valuing my mental health over earning money. So, like, desperately needed money. So when I sold the thing, the solace I found in it was that they had to make a 3-hour drive. So I live in BC, and I'm not going to say what town I live in, but they live in a town called Kelowna, which is the biggest, which is one of the biggest cities here in BC. The others that I'm, yeah, it's like one of the biggest by far. The other biggest being the Metro Vancouver area and all of its surrounding cities, which has around, I think 2.2 million people or something like that total. And then there's Kelowna has somewhere around 350,000 people. There's Kamloops, BC, which I believe has 130-ish. And there's one other city I can't fucking remember, but I think it has around the same as Kamloops. And then there's one more. Oh, I think that was Vernon or something like that. And then there's another one that's like Prince George. And that's like a fair bit north though. Here, the thing about, I don't know why I went through all the cities like that. I had a reason, I forgot. Whatever. Anyways, but they came from Kelowna, which is like a pretty big place, which is surprising that they had. There's also like a ton of smaller cities that have anywhere from like 40,000 people to like 3,000. So anyways, but they had to drive a while to get to me, which is around, I think, 2 to a 2.5. Can I get through the fucking door? 2 to a 2.5 hour drive, and they took longer than this. They took around 3 hours. Oh, that was so close, which I found solace in because they were such an asshole, and that was the only thing I really got out of it, is that they were driving 4 hours just to pick up this fucking graphics card. Turns out they ended up driving a lot longer. I think their trip took them somewhere between 7 and 8 hours because of traffic, and I enjoyed that a lot. Because they took them way longer to like get to where I live. But in my dinky little town. So that was nice.
But if you're buying something from somebody, don't be aggressive. So like, here's how aggressive it was. It was like they're like, I'll buy it for 200. When can I pick it up? And I'm like, what? I put it on for 300, by the way. And I'm like, I'm not gonna go lower than like 350. And they're like, okay, 210. And they pulled that kind of shit for a while, and I was like, I'm got somebody else who's interested, and they're offering to pay like full price, so I'm gonna see what they're gonna say. Because I was in conversation with somebody else. Turns out they were a scammer. But there was somebody else who also offered, and unfortunately something went wrong with them, and their bank account ended up getting frozen for some reason that they aren't sure of. So they couldn't buy it, and they're like, yeah, no, just give it off to somebody else. I can't do it, unfortunately. I believe them. They were like a really cool guy, um, and they didn't really have any reason to like lie to me about it, which was unfortunate. Throughout the entire time, as I'm talking to other people, this person is almost bullying me, or is trying their best to like bully me into selling it to them, and it really pissed me off. I'm like, this is like a $470 card, brand new, and they're like, oh, it's cheaper. You should probably bought it in a brick and mortar store, using all the things that, like, using all the tricks that um, somebody who's like well versed in buying like computer parts online would know. So obviously they know their shit. Um, like, oh, you should buy it in places like Newegg and blah blah blah. I'm like, I bought it on Amazon, man, and they show me the Amazon link before I say I bought it on Amazon. I'm like, I bought that exact thing. It's the taxes that fuck you here in BC, um, which is fine. I don't really mind. Uh, and I showed them my invoice to like prove it, which shut them up about it. But still, they're like, oh, things depreciate. I'm like, not like that. That's so excessive. And then they kept pulling that crap constantly. And they're like, okay, if I give you this other card, that's like $200 used on Amazon. I'm like, fine. Or I was like, I'm not trading. I'm not whatever. Because I thought that's what they wanted. Like, no, I'll just give it to you. And they're like, okay, do you want it? I'm like, sure, why not? And then they made a big show. And here's the thing. They're like, I'm trying to prove that I'm a good person, so I'm doing this to be nice. They pull that stunt, which immediately discounts any nice thing they were doing to nothing, as far as I'm concerned. If you have to be vocal about you doing something to prove that you're a good person or a nice person, you are not a nice person. Me? I try to be nice. I do my best to be nice. But I don't pull the I only did this because I'm a nice person kind of card, because that's like, no, you're just saying that to try to make yourself feel better for being an asshole, or to like justify your asshole behavior. That's not how that works, man. Um, I have not installed that card. I'm probably going to sell it, to be honest, because then I can just use that money to buy my graphics card. I might be able to get something even a little better than what I had, which is I had a 4060, and I'm gonna get a 4060 Ti. So that's my plan. It'll be a little bit more expensive, but it's over 5 payments, like the other card was. So I don't need to worry too much about it. The only thing that might be a little worrying is the taxes being slightly higher on this one than the previous one. But I can live with that. My graphics card is more than enough to, or sorry, my power supply is more than enough to run it and everything. So we'll be good to go. It should also make streaming, what's it called, um streaming games on from VR chat a lot easier. Though that's more of like a CPU issue, strictly speaking, than a GPU one, I believe. But I can't upgrade my CPU anytime soon, because if I want to make a decent CPU upgrade, I need to buy the modern platform, and the modern platform is really expensive. Like, if I was to buy um a modern R7 processor in the least, that processor is going to be anywhere from like 300 to 400 bucks Canadian, and then I'm going to try dropping. Um, then after that, Oh, it worked. Sweet. Um, so then after I buy that, then I need to buy RAM, and I need at least 32 gigs, preferably 64. Though I don't really want to have the setup I have now because certain applications are actually restricted by only 32 gigs, just due to how much my what's it called, or how much my some games just take up nowadays, and how much my operating system takes up. So I would be much more comfortable if I ended up with 64. I'd be like set for the foreseeable future. The other thing is I don't want to buy an R7. I want to go to an R9 in the least, and I have a high preference for getting uh like say it's a 9000 series right now because I think that's the newest one. So it'd be like a 9560X, I think is it, and it's a 16 core processor. Why do I want the 16 core? Because I don't want to buy another like CPU for the foreseeable future. And I really like having a lot of cores to do a lot of stupid shit. Because I like doing a lot of stupid shit. It's a part of just what I do. Also, we finally got through the fucking prison. In record time too. It only took us 11 minutes. I think last time it took us like 15 to 20, so oh, we're making good time. Um so let's say each kit of RAM costs me about $200, which is what I expect it to be. Um let's say I buy two 32 gig kits. I could buy one kit and then buy another kit later. The problem is that if you do that, it's a solid chance you'll be buying two kits with separate model numbers for whatever reason, and that makes me wildly uncomfortable. So I don't want to do that. I like everything being exactly the same when it comes to like buying things in Duo. Then I'll probably be fine with carrying over my SSDs. I will need to replace them eventually due to like these are PCI 3 and we have like PCI 5 and probably 6 on the way sometime soon in the next year or two, I imagine. Like PCI 3 are not being made anymore. They've officially discontinued manufacturing those parts, I believe now. At least that's what it said on the article I read last night. Either that or like they're discontinuing it very soon. So yeah, there's that. But I do also just want to upgrade my my SSD because I've been somewhat limited by the speed of this SSD, weirdly enough, and I have plans for having a high-speed home NAS that I can edit off of. But I also want to be able to transfer my files like relatively easily and without much issue. Especially because some stream files can be very big, and that can be a legitimate issue. So I want to be able to avoid that as best I can. Okay, so let's say 400, and keep in mind these are Canadian prices. So let's just say I do the R7, 9700, 9800, whatever the fuck it is at the time. Not 3D parts. I'm not caring too much about that. But let's say we do that. So let's say it's about $400 for that processor. And it's another $400 for the RAM, and then the motherboard. Now the motherboard is very. I know it's like, oh, you can get like a B450 or B650, whatever the fuck the number is nowadays. Nowadays, and be like, fine. Well, here's the thing about that is I have very specific IO needs, and I got a B50 or B550 motherboard when I upgraded last time, and that caused some issues with me as I ran out of my IO very fast. So I also I don't have any like PCIe Type C ports on the back of my computer when I should. I only have one port that's meant for the case, and my case does not have that. My case is very old. My case is like 11 years old at this point, almost. So that's kind of an issue. I need this stuff to be. I do plan on upgrading my case, but that's also another very expensive and very later option. I don't know if you can see Shadow 6 here. I'm gonna fix my chair while I have a second. Okay, so we got the processor, that's $450 probably. We got the RAM, that's another $400. We have the motherboard, that's probably another $400 to $500 depending on which one I get. Because like I said, the I/O is very important and I can't cheap out on that. Processor I can upgrade later. The I/O I really can't because that's just too difficult of a thing. So now we're at like $1,200 to $1,300, not even counting taxes. Next, there's the graphics card, because I need a new graphics card. Let's just imagine for this scenario I need a new graphics card. I need an 80 series for that, and I'll explain why in a moment. Actually, no. Let's disregard the graphics card. Let's say I still have my or my 4060. Okay, fine, 4060, whatever. That's still $1,200 for that initial upgrade, and then that doesn't even count if I need a power supply upgrades and whatever. SSD upgrades. That's, I don't know how much. That's how much is a one terabyte PCIe Gen 5. 2 terabyte. Oh, well, I mean, holy shit, a 1 terabyte. I mean, it's a cheap Kingston, but I mean, that's still pretty decent. Actually, I might have to take a look at that. A 1 terabyte for like PCIe Gen 4 is like $100. That's not really an issue for me. I don't really care about that. So let's just disregard that because I can get that at any time then. So yeah, that upgrade, that platform upgrade is something like $1,300, not even counting like taxes. I could part it out later, but that's one thing I have to deal with. It's just how it is, and I hate it. Why are you going that way? So a platform update is just really expensive for me right now, so I can't do that. And then if I wanted the optimal build, because I want it to be the last build for the next 5 years, we're looking at like a $900 processor for the 16 core. We're looking at to be honest, 64 gigs is like fine. I don't think I'd really need to 120. I would like 120 to be like future proof for sure, but and to use it as a server in like later on, but for like that use I should be fine. Also reached the farthest point we've gotten to, which is nice. So yeah, just upgrading the platform is really expensive. The one problem I have with PC builders is when they're like, oh, we hate when new CPU comes out because you need a platform upgrade and blah 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 and this and this and this and this. Like, how often do you not keep your builds for long enough that you require an entire platform upgrade? Or do you just like upgrade every year? Like, is that what you do? is that's not really money conscious. Like if you buy an R7, you're fine for at least for at least like 2 years for sure, no matter what you're doing. Unless you do like super heavy 3D work and shit. I personally do not under. Oh god. I don't understand why you would ever need to upgrade stuff like that. Here's another artificially slowing thing, and then he just like stops there. So yeah, I don't know. That's the one weird thing I have with the PC building community. I know it's a bunch of like PC enthusiasts all of the time. But like I'm sure you could do cooler things with that money than spending 400, 500 bucks every year on a new R7 CPU or what fucking ever. Like when I upgraded to where I'm at now, right now, I had my platform was almost 10 years old. I it took me a long time to like nut up and upgrade my platform. Oh, this part's gonna be rough. This is what kills me in like regular playthroughs, let alone this playthrough. So yeah, this place sucks. No! Ah, oh, damn it. 21 minutes. Fuck. You know what? Why don't we actually like part out? If I was to upgrade right now, what the best prices would be on, let's say Amazon, because that's where I am most likely to buy my parts. Oh, okay. Good run with Godspeed with the runs. Yeah, I'm actually doing parting for a second, but I will be going back to that. What was it? The Optimum platform, so 9800. I don't really care about the 3DX or is the nines. Hold on, I wait. What? Is the 9000 series not out? No, it is. It's on Amazon. Um, again. I'm kind of getting tired of it, but whatever. Okay, so uh, the CPU is more expensive than I thought. Actually, oh, hold on. This is actually a pretty good deal. I could upgrade to this on my current platform. Not the point. Okay, so let's see. The optimal. I can upgrade to the 5000 CPUs, but I'd really rather not because I also want to have DDR5. Um, anyway, so I upgraded from DDR3 to DDR4, and if I upgrade again, I'm going to be upgrading from DDR4 to DDR5. So, like, I always go between standards. I always upgrade when like standards have changed. Uh, 7, 9000 motherboard. Oh, 870 motherboards is what they are. So, uh, this is a 870X. Not optimal, but should be like enough for the sake of this. I don't imagine it's like an issue. Um, eight. Do 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 do.
870 X870 motherboard. I'd actually prefer an E, but I can live without it. Are these gonna actually show the I/O proper? Yeah, like even this one, it's just 8X70, and it's missing out on a bunch of USB I/O that I would really prefer. That's $300 one. Asus ROG, it's white, but I'll live. I might just have to get something Asus or ROG because it will have like the I/O that I want. Actually, this is pretty fun. Though a lot of that is high speed. I could probably use splitters. I'm not super enthused by that, but whatever. Okay, so let's say I get the Strix board here. Wow. Apparently these are really new. How long have these been out? I thought this stuff has been out for a while. It's October. Hmm. It's slipping. That's a gigabyte board. What's that? It's like almost $400. I have gigabyte right now. That's got not anywhere near enough. I get that everything is a lot of it is like USB uh C and USB 4 and stuff like I know, but I still do not like just the minimal amount of I/O. I have a pretty high need for it because I have a lot of devices, especially for like I got my mouse, I got my keyboard, I got my webcam. Um, I have my microphone, I have my controller, I have several external hard drives that I use. And all that takes up like slots and stuff like that. And my keyboard sometimes also takes two. It really depends on what ports I have them in. Um, and yeah, I would run. I'd probably run out because I don't have anything that's USB-C. I could get an updated. Um, I could get a cable or an updated enclosure for my externals, which would only be like $15, which would swap it over from USB-C to B or USB-C to A to USB-C to C, and that could also work. That should be better for speed, but yeah. Okay, so let's say I go with that Strix board. So I'm gonna just add that to cart, and that's $500. I don't I don't like building something lesser and then having to upgrade it later. It really pisses me off. So DDR5 RAM. I'm not one of those people that like goes crazy over RAM. Um, I might I might splurge a little bit for something better, but I will rarely like give that much of a shit. It seems like the better value here are the 32 gig kits because there's a 16 gig kit and it's like a third of the price less, and I don't like that. I wouldn't buy that. Okay, so there's the Corsair Pro. So let's say two kits of that. And that's strictly for the platform upgrade. Let's say I carry over my all my hard drives, my save for later, 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 save for later. Hunting Arlene, haunting Arlene, Ardeen, Ardeline, Ardeline. I thought it was Arlene. Whatever. I gotta buy those at some point. All right, so that's this like the subtotal is 1,239. If I go to checkout, by the way, the RAM's on a slight deal, so it'd be another $40 more. Um, Continue without Prime benefits. Okay, so that would be $1,400. I'm not. I can't get that kind of money right now. That's like 4 months of saving if I'm like really 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 lucky. I'm sure the prices for some of these would come down. So then imagine I get like the 16 core CPU for example. I get that it's like what add another like fucking um let's say 99 60X, I think is what it is. It's the 16 core. Oh, Ryzen 9. Oh, no, 9 or 7950X. I think what I was thinking of was like the original. Yeah, it's like
Actually, it's only 738. That's not bad. The 3D one is more expensive. This would be a case where I might consider the 3D, because like I said, it's 16 cores. I'm going to use that till the end of time. That's not bad. But say we don't get the 3D core. The 3D one here isn't even on sale by like Amazon. It's by third parties. So say I just went and got the 16 core. That's not 3D. That adds another about $300 to our price. That's not even counting the increase in how much it would be with taxes either. So the 300, 17, it'd be like an $1,800 build, all said and through. No, I might buy the RAM ahead of time if I can, because RAM is one of the few things that really doesn't matter too much as long as it's within the same platform. Um, as long as you have the platform for it, so like the motherboard is DDR5, any DDR5 RAM should work. RAM incompatibility is not much of a thing these days, and DDR5 has had enough time to grow to where that shouldn't matter. So yeah, it'd be like an $1,800 build to get what I want. That's assuming I have 64 gigs. Like I said, I would like 32, or sorry, 128. But I could honestly live without it. That's not like a hard thing to give up. Anyways, let's go back to the nightmares. Now, would I like to get that through streaming? 100%. I would be up the wall. But right now, I'd rather get a fan than like PC parts. So yeah, PS platform upgrades are expensive. Is kind of my point. That was, I guess, like the whole idea of that fucking rant. It's hot. Okay. Um. Huh. I'll check that out later. Anyways, onwards to a new adventure, and not getting my ass kicked by that motherfucker. I think I'm supposed to wait at the gap there until he goes past, and then I walk through. I didn't think about that before, but I think that's what I've seen in speedruns. I should also drink some water. I want to get at least close to completing a run today. I want to at least get past the chefs, but I guess like the problem with running achievements like this is they are very time consuming because all it takes is one slight fuck up and a bunch of times. Like I used up, uh, I've lost two 20-minute runs already, and I wasn't even out of like I wasn't even close to the end of chapter two. Um, I think I died there, and I was only like halfway through chapter two. There's four chapters, um, which is the prison. I don't remember what the next part is. It's the part with the after you get captured by the caretaker. I think it's and then the third part is the kitchen, and then the fourth part is actually why don't I just hold on? Then the fourth part is like the residence. I believe it's considered four chapters. Prison. Oh, I can't do it because it's a fresh playthrough, as I haven't finished it yet in this install. Fuck. Okay. Well, whatever. But yeah, like the residence is at the end. It's like the prison, the something, the and then the kitchen and then the residence. I think. Actually, why not? Actually, I don't want to. I was gonna like be like, I'm just gonna go look it up, and then I'm like, I don't want to crash again because every time I crash, it. Hello. Okay. For a second there, I thought I forgot to turn on my microphone, and I've been yapping without any sound for like 20 minutes. So yeah, I'll probably only. Oh hi, how you doing? I'm just speedrunning Little Nightmares to get an achievement and yapping about computer stuff because I'm a big fucking nerd. But I'll probably, if I don't have like a working run by the end of the next hour or so, I'll probably be done with this for the night because it's like I said, it's mentally exhausting. I've done like what 7 or 8 different runs now, and I haven't even gotten to the end of chapter 2 yet. It's a little bit mentally draining. But yes, hello solo. It's a pity that there are very few people and it's just me. Yeah, this isn't my normal kind of content. I rarely do people ever care about Little Nightmare stuff. Um, Even like back when Distortion played it, and he like his regular things in horror games were like something like 3,000 people. Whenever he did Little Nightmares, it dropped by like a lot to like 500. You have to be like pretty into a streamer to want to watch stuff like this. I don't normally do this, but I was gonna do Evil Within, and that game has become oddly stressful for me. The last stream I did, I spent 7.5 hours doing 3 chapters, which was not how it was supposed to go, but it did, just due to some of the. I think it was just some of the most unfair parts in the game. I think. Um, but yeah, I do have people that are just some viewers that are away that I know will probably come back later, but they're in the middle of stuff right now. So um, when I do Elite Dangerous, it's a lot different, which is where my current growth is coming from. Oh God. But this is not Elite Dangerous, so yeah. I also need to like post videos and stuff. I just rarely put in effort for that because it's hard for me. I don't like listening to my own voice, and I don't have the money to pay for an editor, so that's just not happening. I just need to find a day where like I've I'm comfortable editing and then spend the whole day doing that, and I'll probably punch through a bunch of videos and content and stuff like that. I just need to get into it. Once I legitimately start and get into it, I'm fine. Um, it's just the starting part that's really difficult for me. It's kind of like working out. You know, once you're doing it and you're into the effort of the hobby, it's fine. It's just getting to that point to where you start is like the issue. Okay. Oh, come on. No, I need to. Come on. I used to get this every time. I don't know why I'm having such difficulty with it now. Like, did I do something wrong? I fuck up that toilet paper jump like constantly. I've only made it like properly once the first try. I also need to remember to not hold the sprint button when I'm going between the bars because I just drain unnecessary amounts of stamina. I'm also not the most interesting guy to watch, to be completely honest. I'll yap about stuff a lot of the time to try to keep things interesting, but I'm not super entertaining. I try to be, but you know how it is. I was looking at possibly getting um Six's outfit commissioned for my Avi for doing these streams because I think that'd be fun. That or mono, or like trying to do something like mono with the assets available. Um, but that would be that could possibly be a lot of work, and I'm not sure how that would fare. I'd probably look more like mono than Six. I don't. I don't think the raincoat would look like very well on on a Vroid, unless you're like really good with hair stuff, and I'm so fucking not. It also require a lot of parts, and stuff like that is intensive, and my avatar is intensive enough. I actually need to try to optimize it a bit so it doesn't. It takes a little bit less resources. Not that it takes like it'll help a ton, but helping some is better than helping none. You know. I do want to get like a live 2D avatar, but that's a big expense I can no longer afford. I used to be able to. I had plans for it. I actually talked with an artist about it. I was supposed to buy it at the end of October, but stuff happened, and I was a dumbass. I got my shit sorted now, but I probably won't buy it till somewhere at the end of December, maybe, or at least order it. It'll cost me something like $128, I think, US. So somewhere around 150 to 160 Canadian. Um, it's not going to be like a full body uh, proper live 2D thing. You see like Iron Mouse or whatever having. Um, it's really going to be it's going to be like kind of like it's going to be a chibi. I still have a heavy preference for 3D, and that might seem weird. The reason why I have a high preference for 3D is I plan on having hand tracking at some point in the future, and I like the idea of having hand tracking. So because live 2D models are cool, but you can't really express yourself a ton with them without using like toggles that you have to memorize, and I don't like that. I'd rather be able to just like if I want to give you the finger, then I just whip out my hand and go ta-da. Oh, no, I fucked that up. I fucked that up. Nope, I didn't fuck it up. But yeah, if you like hearing me yap and playing things, feel free to subscribe. I stream pretty often. I stream at least 5 days a week. Not always consistently, mind you, but I'm usually streaming late at night. I've just I guess become a late at night streamer somehow. Believe me, that was damn it. That was not in the plan like at all. It just come on. It just got that way. Oh, where the fuck is my timer at? Oh, I used the wrong one. Oh, that might not be close enough. I'll fix the sources. I do have a timer going. Shit. I'll also swap it now. Hopefully it does not crash. I'll have to try it again. There's a very, very, very specific spot that you need to pause at, and if you fuck it up, it will not work. I also stream on Twitch, but I don't think there's any. I don't think there's many people there either. So meh. Oh, are you telling me my stream dropped again? Are you fucking joking? Please work, please work, please work, please work. Yes. It's really that skip is really particular. The box is pretty small. I guess it was a lot smaller than I originally thought. What the important thing is I did not die. And that's what matters. And we're about to beat the next big fucking eye. This stream often kills me in runs. And it kind of pisses me off a lot. Because you have to match yourself with that, this thing which goes with the sway of the ship, but you can be too fast early on. And if you're not sprinting with it by, like, the end, you'll... No. Oh, God. That'll happen. I am so lucky that didn't kill me. I had that happen, I think, in, like, my first Let's Play of this on Twitch. Which is not my, like, very first go-through of it. I had done it, I think, like, once before. Or once or twice before, but it was my first time coming back to it after, like, years and years. Anyways, that's the prison done. With a time of 12 minutes. Yeah, I didn't get the rope jump or the pulley skip right, which is a shame, but nothing I can do about that. That's like the risky route, though, for sure. There's a safer one, which is faster, by the way. But kind of like what I said before, it requires a lot of practice I just don't have, and is a fair bit harder because you're kind of like relying on muscle memory a lot of it, I think, or it's really easy to fuck up. I do not know how to... There's a drawer skip in there where you climb up the toilet and the little sink and then grab onto those drawers there and then just grab the key and hop down. I do not know how to do it. I've tried a couple times, never got it to work. I really hoped I could get it to work. I just didn't. It was a shame. Okay. Hopefully getting captured isn't too much of a pain in the ass. I hate the hunger parts, though. I can't do hunger skips. I just can't. It's a controller thing. This run is kind of going well enough that I think I'll if I don't get it right next, I'm just gonna call it here for tonight. Oh, whoops! I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't know why I was falling like that though. It's a little weird, but okay. I think here the jump doesn't really matter when it comes to, like, stamina consumption, because you're in a hungered state, which doesn't count, I guess. I'm feeling like me right now. I'm actually getting hungry. It's been a bit. I mean, I think I'm mostly thirsty, to be honest. I'll drink some water when I in this cutscene. Okay. I need to wash my controller. It's getting kind of gross. I don't really think about it because I don't like it's not in my view normally, but now the light's kind of shining on it. I definitely need to give it a wash. Yeah, this is probably gonna be my last run. I don't think I'm really gonna have the will to keep going if I fuck this one up again. Oh, well, that's that. That was an unfortunate end. Oh man, she lost her block. I knocked her block off. Jesus. Okay, I think that's gonna be it for the night. I think I'm just gonna, like, chill with Elite Dangerous in my server. I do have a server, by the way, if you're over 18, which you should be if you're watching the stream. If not, then please go away. Feel free to jump in the Discord, which should be linked on YouTube and have a button on Twitch. Anyways, I'm headed off for the night, so I hope everybody has a good night and sweet dreams. Ciao.